What's up, guys? George back again, live, doing a little rant and rambling. Just chilling. I'll wait for a couple people to come on. Not too much going on. Finally, the weather broke here, so it's nice and cool out right now. It's going to be a little chilly tonight. Not too much else going on. So I guess today we lost Fats Domino, which is a bummer. He was 89. One of my favorites out of all the oldies guys. Him and Little Richard and Chuck Berry. Really love those three. Yeah, it's sad. It's a sad day. So I just got done listening to some Fats Domino. I was actually listening to him this weekend. It was kind of weird. But not too much else going on. Got some new records in. Got some new magazines in, so I'll be doing a magazine update at some point. Probably this weekend. I'm waiting on a couple other ones to come out that are supposed to be out this week, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I might have enough for another LP update. I've been buying a lot. I went to a couple shops this weekend. I didn't buy a ton, but just a couple cool records here and there. Couple blues albums that I'd never seen before, some older ones. That was about it. Not too much else going on, I don't think. A couple new movie announcements today. Rob Zombie's going to be making a sequel to Devil's Rejects, which I think is pretty killer. So I look forward to seeing that whenever that's done. That was just announced today. And I guess Jigsaw comes out this weekend. I don't know how I feel about that one. I'll probably wait until it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD. I'm not going to go see it in the theater. I don't think I saw any of them in the theater. I always waited for them to come out on Blu-ray. I love the original series, especially the first movie. The second one, from what I remember, was just okay, but I really liked the third movie. And all the ones after that were hit and miss. I did like the last one, though. How it tied up everything. I thought, or, how it tied up all the loose ends and stuff. I thought that was cool. Kind of like Final Destination 5, if you've ever seen that. How that kind of tied up everything at the end and it kind of started over again. I thought that was a cool idea. The only Final Destination one I didn't like was Part 4. I thought that was terrible, but the other four I thought were decent. And I think they also just announced today or yesterday, that the new Halloween film, the John Carpenter Halloween, and Danny McBride, it's gonna pick up after the first film. It's not even gonna bother with the second film, which I think is weird. I think that's weird. I don't know why you just don't start from the end of the second film. It's kind of weird, because it's like it was the same night. You know what I mean? So I've been watching a ton of horror lately, obviously, because the Halloween season. I haven't been watching as many as I wanted to watch, but I saw Leatherface. I fell asleep during that. It wasn't that good. I gotta watch it again, though. I found it on the Amazon Fire Stick. Somebody had it up there, so I watched it. And I was tired anyway. It was like late at night, and I just fell asleep. But it was kind of boring. But I think it only lasted about 20 minutes, so I'm definitely going to watch it again. What else did we watch? Babysitter on Netflix. I thought that was awesome. I'll have a review of that tomorrow. I thought that was a really good show, or movie. And then I've been watching the Slasher series on Netflix. Me and my wife watched the first episode when it first came out. I think it was on late night on Sci-Fi last year. They were showing it, but I didn't stick around. We only watched the first episode, but I think I'm up to like episode 5 now in the first season. I didn't realize there was a second season to it, which is on Netflix as well. But it's pretty good. It's kind of slow moving. I thought it was alright so far. We'll see what happens at the end. Somebody told me that the second season has nothing to do with the first season, kind of like American Horror Story. So we'll see whenever I get to season 2. They finally announced the release of The Punishers, I guess November 7th on Netflix, which is good. I've been dying to see that one. That just looks amazing. I hope it is. I really liked the character when he was in Daredevil. The kids are upstairs fighting. The twins. They're arguing. I think I showed this. I did a review of this. It's Never Hike Alone. If you haven't seen this yet, it's on YouTube right now. It's not a Blu-ray. I just made the artwork for it, but it's a fan film, Friday the 13th. What's up, Halloween fan? Hi, George. Check out Mindhunter on Netflix. Yeah, my buddy was telling me about that. I haven't checked it out yet. I definitely do want to see it. I want to finish the Slasher series first. Like I said, I thought the first season so far has been pretty good, the Slasher. So we'll see. But yeah, Mindhunter looks pretty good. I did watch the trailer for that. That looks pretty cool. Then I'll have a review of this tomorrow. The Babysitter. I made the artwork just when I did the review, but this is on Netflix now. This was a lot of fun. It was funny, and there was some nice kills in it, some brutal, pretty good makeup work in that one, as far as gore goes. See, like I said earlier, we lost Fats Domino today, which is a big blow. I know he hasn't done much in the last, few years, but he's been one of my favorites since I was a kid. Him and Chuck Berry and Little Richard. I was just talking to my wife probably this week, trying to figure out where we have a Fats Domino's Christmas album on CD somewhere. I think it's downstairs where we keep all the Christmas music. It should be. We couldn't find it last year, so I'm definitely going to have to find it this year, because that's one of my favorite Christmas albums. I ended up ordering Creepshow 2 Arrow Blu-ray today. Amazon got the limited one back in stock, the 3,000 copy one. So I was fortunate enough to jump on that and grab one before they sold out again, because now it's back up to $100. Bless me. Yeah, it's back up to $100. But I got it for $34.99, I think it was. But so I'm happy about that. I've been wanting that for a while now. It sold out super quick when it first came out. So I kept it in my wish list, and every now and then I'll check the wish list and see if there's anything when stuff drops in price. I'll jump on it, and they had it back in stock, so now it's back. Like I said, it's back up to $100, which is from the secondhand or third party sellers, whatever they're called. I don't know if I'm getting a cold or what, but my little guy, Butch, he's been feeling a little under the weather the last couple days, so I'm gonna try and beat this thing out before it gets full bore. Take some airborne and that kind of shit, some vitamin C pills. But not too much else going on. I have got some new music and new CJ Wildheart. I did a review of that. That was fantastic. If you know who the Wildhearts are, CJ was the lead guitar player for that band. I ordered the vinyl for that one. I found this over the weekend too. A new old AC/DC bootleg on CD. Just another Hammersmith show, but this is like from '89. It's like, I probably have this show 100 times already, but it's a silver disc. I won't buy CDRs, but it's pretty cool. It's an old school bootleg CD. It's only like $8 or something. So I picked that up. Halloween fan wants to know, have you heard Juke and Bone? Highly recommended their Whiskey Woman release. No, I haven't heard anything about that. What do they sound like? Juke and Bone. Cool name. Whiskey Woman. I'll have to look it up for sure. I finally heard Bluesy Zeppelin kinda. Alright, cool. Well, I finally heard I knew it. God damn, I forgot the name of the band already. Hold on. Somebody asked me about this before. This band. Greta Van Fleet. I finally heard a couple tracks today. The one track I heard, god damn, does that sound like Zeppelin. It was really Zeppelin-y. Even the singer sounds like Plant. I liked it. They're young. They look young as shit. I don't know. What are they, like 16? But the guitar player he smokes. He was slamming on there. So I think they have an EP coming out, or like a double EP in November. I might have to check it out. Yeah, I'll definitely check out Juke and Bone. That's a cool name. I can't get enough of Airborne lately, man. I've been listening to so much. The last two Airborne records in my car for some reason. Breaking Out of Hell and Black Dog Barking. Two great records. Jukin's version of The Hunter. In your opinion, it's better than Zepp's? Wow. I will. I'll definitely check it out. Better than Zepp, huh? Or their version. I've been listening to this too. The last couple days here at the house. The Allman Brothers, Atlanta International Pop Fest from 1970. This is killer. It's a pretty raw sounding Allman Brothers, but really killer. But other than that, I ordered the new Professionals album, which is Paul Cook from the Sex Pistols and Tom Spencer from the Yo-Yos, and he was in a band after the Yo-Yos too. But it's the old 70s band like Steve Jones. So I picked that up. That should be here tomorrow. Yeah. Here's my daughter.
Hi. Are you living?
Yeah, living?
Whatever.
Yeah. What's up, Andrew? How are you? Am I living?
Shut up.
So was I talking about the professionals? Yeah, they got a new record for it. It's been like 30 years since they put out a record. Am I into death metal? Not really. I do like some of the old school. I don't know what you consider death metal though. So many people have different opinions on what's death metal and what's not, but I'm more of a simple AC/DC rock guy. You're so weird.
Oh yeah, I got 75%.
Good job.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, YouTubers.
She's so weird. Yeah, Death. I love Death. I thought Death was killer. Cannibal Corpse, not so much. I can't deal with the vocals. At the Gates, not sure if I even heard that many things by them. So I don't want to. I don't really have an opinion on them. And Bloodbath, I never heard of. The Halloween fan said he gets the 100 and how many more times by Zepp mixed up. I got you. Well, how many more times is an old... that's an old blues tune, man, that Zepp made their own. They kind of rewrote some lyrics to it and... but that's an old blues tune. Death is your fate. Yeah, Death is a great band. Yeah, exactly. They have that real thrashy sound. I've been a Death fan since I was young. When they first came out in I want to say 86 or 87, somewhere around there. Maybe even a little later. It might have been 88, the first Death. Halloween fans said, thank you for turning me on to Fenton Robinson. But, dude, I just got turned on to him not too long ago, so no worries, man. You're welcome. The guy's great. He's fantastic. Andrew just asked me since I was into AC/DC, if I have heard of another Australian band called Airborne. I don't know if you must have just popped on after I said it, but that's all I've been listening to lately is Airborne. Black Dog Barking and Breaking Out of Hell I have in my car right now. For some reason, they're one of my favorite bands right now. Airborne just kicks ass. They kick all kinds of ass. I've been watching a lot of live shows from them online. And I have a few on DVD that I made, that I downloaded online from various torrent sites, music torrent sites. But they remind me of a young AC/DC. I mean, there is so much adrenaline and just so much. You could tell there's so much hunger in that band to just kick ass. They write amazing music. It's amazing. I can't say more about them. They're just a fucking fantastic band. Now, of course, they're gonna get lumped in to being the AC/DC clones, and I gotta be honest. Riff wise, maybe, but adrenaline and man, they take AC/DC to a whole nother level. That style of music, I don't know what it is, man, but it's just the riffs, the production, the songwriting, his vocals, the guitar playing. they're one of my favorite bands right now. I know they had a EP out, which I got. I know this ain't the original because it says made in Brazil on the inside or some shit like that. Was it Brazil? The outside says made in Australia. It's their first EP, Ready to Rock. Yeah, Brazil, like 2008. So you could tell it's a fucking bootleg, but I don't know what the originals. It's silver, but I don't know what the originals go for. I think like I don't know, probably a few $100 at this point, but actually you prefer them to AC/DC. I like their heavier sound. Yeah, they're definitely a heavier band than AC/DC. They have more of a metal thing going on, but it's not really metal, you know what I mean? It's just I don't know if it's a guitar tonage or I don't know, man. They just got that fire. They got that young AC/DC fire that AC/DC had up until like Back in Black for those about to rock is when they started, to me, started losing it a bit. I think AC/DC's last great record was Flick of the Switch. And obviously the last two I really liked a lot. I loved Ball Breaker as well. But other ones in between I like. It's been years since I've listened to some of them. Ball Breaker I always go back to listen to. Because that was a bluesier thing for them. It was more of a blues-based rock album than anything. And Black Ice is still, for a later day AC/DC record, that's probably one of their best albums with Brian. Yeah, even a couple of AC/DC think very highly of them. I know, and I really thought when Brian had to retire from AC/DC, Joel O'Keefe from Airborne was the first guy that popped into my head for that band. I think if they would have got him, I think people would have accepted that more. Axl did a great job, and I hated the decision from day one. But when I saw him here in Philly, I got to give him all the props in the world. He nailed every scream, everything. Axl really nailed it, and he sounded great with him. Precedentist. Hi, George. Love your kids. Not sure if I've heard you mention the Cult before. Are you a fan? I love the Cult, the early Cult. I love Electric, Sonic Temple, and Ceremony. Even the self-titled one, I liked a lot of things on that. And then Beyond Good and Evil, I think it was called. That was like their comeback album, if I'm correct. I liked a lot of stuff on that record. Now, I haven't listened to the last couple things though. Just what I heard, I didn't care for, but I love Electric. I love the Manor Sessions, which was like an EP of early Electric stuff. I think when it was recorded at Manor Studios, and it has like the Love production on some of that Electric stuff. But I liked them a lot. Yeah, I liked the Cult a lot. I think Peace Frog or Peace Dog, is that what it's called? The riff at the beginning of that song, unbelievable. Andrew said the bluesy sound is what you don't like about AC/DC. I get it. I forget, Andrew, how old are you? Because a lot of guys my age, I'm 46, so a lot of guys my age and in the mid, 30s and up, that like AC/DC really tend to like a lot of the old blues players. And you could tell, like, with Angus and Malcolm, 35. Andrew's 35. yeah, like I said, a lot of the older fans like me, um, they tend to kind of know where they're coming from as far as guitar players go. Like Angus really plays a lot like Chuck Berry and Muddy Waters and a couple of the old Chicago blues players. Um, and they're really AC/DC is what got me into that Chicago blues and the Texas blues. I love all that stuff. Um, I just I don't know what it is, but I go back and listen. That's my second favorite type of music is blues. But it's got to be a certain period. It's got to be like, um, 50s through early 70s maybe. I don't care for a lot of the stuff that like Alligator Records was doing. There's a few artists on there that I do like, but I think once it got too polished sounding production wise, it ruined it. Blues has to have that raw, gutty, like emotional feel to it. And when you have when you have a production that's slick and polished, it doesn't work for blues music. Blues has got to be dirty as shit, you know. Andrew said he's not a blues fan. He prefers pure rock. Right on. That's cool, man. Thunderstruck Z. Z. Thunderstrucks. Hi, George. Just saw that Airborne are releasing a diamond cut CD on single vinyl outside of the box. Yeah, I did too. I didn't realize that. Somebody else had told me that on here, actually. I think sometime in November. There's 15 songs. I don't know if they're going to be able to fit it all on single LP or not. I just assumed it was going to be a double LP because the price on it's like, I think the list price on it seems like it'd be a double, but maybe it is a single. If it's a single and it's that price, I'm not getting it. There's no way. It's like $30 list. The Diamond Cuts box set, if you don't have... Yeah, see, you don't have any of the albums yet. It's the first 4 studio albums and the Diamond Cut CD, which is all the B-sides, man. I would definitely go for that. Yeah, I'm hoping it's a double, Thunderstruck. Because if it's not, the price is too high, and 15 songs, that means the grooves are going to be real thin. That means it's going to sound like shit, so... For what?
For my states and capitals.
Oh, you got 100? She got 100 on her states and capitals quiz. I don't think they could see that. It just looks like a flashlight you're holding up there.
It's where they are on the map.
Yeah, I know. Really? I didn't know where capitals and states were. We live next to Florida, right?
No. You need to go back to school.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Breaking Out of Hell is an amazing album. I listen to that on vinyl down here. I might have brought it upstairs finally, but no, not tonight.
You always let Chris.
There it is. No. I love this record. Yeah, Breaking Out. My favorite track on there is Down on You. I just think it's a great song. Great riff in that song. Rivalry, I really like that. The whole album is just fantastic. No ballads, no bullshit. Yeah, I haven't had a band hit me that hard as far as liking them since the Wild Hearts in the early 90s, where I followed everything that they've done. According to Amazon, Diamond Cuts vinyl has 50. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because the CD does. I still have the CD box down here. And the only reason I got this was for the Diamond Cuts thing, because I have. Well, no, you know what? That's a lie, because there's the documentary DVDs in here as well. This thing. So yeah, if you don't have, who was it, Andrew? Yeah, Andrew, man, if you don't have any of the other albums, this thing's like, what is it, $25 or something on Amazon. You get the first 3 albums. Yeah, Run Wild. No Guts, No Glory. Which, it's funny, in the documentary, they make fun of this album cover. Joel hates that album cover. Black Dog Barking. And Diamond Cuts. Along with the documentary. It sucks that Breaking Out of Hell wasn't included. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think it's because it was a different label. I think Breaking Out of Hell was the first album for the Spine Farm Records, I think. Although, yeah, because Black Dog Barking was on SPV. So that's probably one of the reasons why it's not included in the box set. But this thing's on Network. The box set's on Network Records, which is, I don't know what the hell that is, but apparently they bought all the, either, paid for the royalties to use all the music for the box set, because there's no mention of SPV on here. There's no mention of their first label. What the hell was their first label? It was on a major label, I think, but I can't remember. Because I think Spine Farm's actually their third label. Well, yeah, this whole box set's on Network Records, which is, they must have licensed it from the other labels. But yeah, I would definitely suggest checking that out, the box set, if you haven't. Like I said, if you don't have any of the other records, go for it. Especially for that cheap, man. But the Diamond Cut CDs, all unreleased tracks, either taken from various singles, Japanese bonus tracks, deluxe editions that they do, those tour editions things, which suck. I hate those. I think I have every Airborne tour edition, because I always bought them again. And then 2 unreleased tracks that weren't on anything, which is Money, which is a great song, and I think Heavyweight Lover was the other track. I think. But it's a cool cover. I can't wait to see this on vinyl, for sure. Have I heard any AC/DC rumors? I really haven't, man. And, if being an AC/DC fan, they keep everything like hush-hush. It's unbelievable. I know they recorded a live show in Chicago at Wrigley Field with Brian for a live album and DVD or Blu-ray. But who knows? I'd like to see that. I would love to see that. And Mike Frazier, who's actually mastered the albums, the last few albums, has come out and said that his mastering job was done for that release. So I guess the album and the audio have been mixed for it, but your guess is as good as mine if it ever happens. And I think From what I understand, they owe one more record to Sony. Um, and that's not including live performance. I think that's new studio material. However, I think at this point, if you don't do a new album with Brian, what's the point? I don't really want to hear a new record with Axl, if that's the case. Him filling in for those last tour dates is fine. I just, I thought he was killer. Like I said, was not a huge fan of Axl in AC/DC. When I first heard the news, I was kind of disgusted by it. But then when I saw him live, he kicked ass. I got to give him all the credit in the world. He did a fantastic job. Any chance they bring Brian back? Health-wise, Brian's fine. It's his hearing. There is some kind of new hearing apparatus that he's been trying out apparently last year sometime. That'll help him out as far as hearing what's going on stage without blowing his ears out. I think he would come back in a heartbeat. I think they made a lot out of nothing when he retired. I think the media made a lot out of kind of making it sound like he was just dumped on the side of the road. I really don't think that happened. I know with Angus, for the most part, AC/DC is a brand nowadays. It's not so much a band anymore, but, I still love them. I would love to hear a new record with Brian, but nobody else. Yeah, that's awesome that you got to see him with Brian on the Rocker Bus thing. I've seen him so many times over the last 36 years. 36 years ago was the first time I saw him. So I've seen him at least 40 times. And that's just Philadelphia, New York area. I went to Scranton to see them on the dress rehearsal for the Black Ice tour. That was amazing. Not an AC/DC. Do they have a bass player now? No, they don't have. That's another thing. They don't have. Cliff Williams retired, so I just don't see them doing anything new. And I hope Angus doesn't go that guest vocalist route where he has 10 songs with 10 different singers. I could just see that happening too. I hope not. I just think it's time to either do a record with Brian, one final album with Brian, do selected tour dates, kind of like they did on Rocker Bus Tour. Very short, very small amount of dates, and just to kind of say thanks to everybody, the fans. Because at this point, if Brian doesn't come back and at least do a record, what's the point? What is the point of doing it with a new singer? It's disappointing. It's disappointing it ended that way. I would prefer them just to not do anything anymore. New studio stuff. Just put out vault stuff. I'd be down for that. Put out the Chicago show from last year, and then I know people are really clamoring for the Largo 81 show, or Largo or Washington D.C. 1981. There's a bootleg, pro shop bootleg floating around of that. Man, find that, clean it up, put that out, man. Andrew wants to know if I work in a record store. Yes, I do work in a record store. I've been there. I've been friends with the owner since I was a kid. Since I first started buying records, and he opened a shop in my neighborhood 10 years ago. He's been around for 25 years, but he moved up the, literally, I walked to work right up the street, so he asked me if I wanted to come aboard a couple years, almost 3 years ago, and I've been there ever since. Yeah, vault stuff would be amazing. They have so much live shit that they could do. And at this point, I would prefer the AC/DC live stuff. Especially the old, anything pre, like, I don't know, pre blow up your video, maybe. There is supposedly a track that was recorded in '75 with Bond called I'm a Rebel that was never released on anything. And then the German band Accept did a cover of it. Or, they did their version of it. Thanks for the CD reviews. They're great. I heard come across those albums while shopping. Awesome, man. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Like I said, most of the CD reviews I do are stuff that I think I'm going to like. Anyway, I don't review everything because there's stuff that I don't like. Stuff that I didn't like, and I'd rather just not say anything bad about them. Or stuff that I just think is okay until I listen to it more. But my reviews are more off of one listen, off the first listen, how it hits me initially. Like the Lillingtons album, I said in my review, I didn't like that first track, which I still don't. But I like the album even more now than I did in that review, when I did that review. But that first track, I still don't like that first one. But I try and keep them short but sweet. I don't like reviews that just critique every little note on the record. I just kind of try to keep my reviews as simple as possible, and kind of give comparisons to sound to other bands if that's viable during the reviews, but just try to give people a feel of what the album sounds like before they even hear it, really. But I don't trash anybody. There's no point. If I get records that I don't like, then I just won't review them. The Candy Harlots, I have heard of the Candy Harlots. I might have one thing from them. Boy, that sounds familiar. I think I do. It's been a long time since I heard it, but I think I have. Let me see. This is why I like doing it while I'm on the computer, because I'm on the phone and the computer, so I can look shit up as I'm talking. To see CD covers and stuff. That Five Wicked Ways. No, is that the one? That might be the one I have. I definitely don't have Foreplay. Five Wicked Ways looks familiar. I'll have to look. I'll definitely have to look at that. But from what I remember, I liked them. Yeah, Candy Harlots. I gotta check that out again. Oh yeah, Thunderstruck asked me if there's a band called The Poor. And yeah, Angus and Malcolm's nephew played drums in that band on that first album, which was Who Cares, I think was the name of the album. And that album kicked ass. I love that record. It was very Australian sounding. It wasn't so much AC/DC sounding. It definitely had that vibe, AC/DC Rose Tattoo, but it also had an Angel Sting going. And geez, now that I think about it, it had more of an Airborne feel than anything. But yeah, was it James Young, Jimmy Young? I forget the drummer's name, but he was definitely their nephew. I don't know why he doesn't get him to fill in for Phil Rudd and get another nephew to play bass. I thought for sure George Young would play bass, but unfortunately he passed this week as well, which sucks. I mean, if it wasn't for George Young, there would have been no AC/DC. The track Sisters Crazy is my favorite of theirs, probably in your wheelhouse. Oh yeah, the Candy Heartless. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out, for sure. The Angels are a great band. I found an Australian pressing here in the States of their album from '82, I think it was. It's like a black album cover with a guy on the front, like a cartoon. I forget the name of it, but I have it up in the to be listened to pile, and I had it on CD for years, but I just can't. I don't remember what that record was called, but I just picked that up not too long ago. Yeah, Silvertide. They were from Philly. Yeah, Silvertide was from here. They had that. The single was "I'm Coming Home" or something like that. They tried to do a comeback here like 2 years ago and recorded a new record, but it never came out. Yeah, the Poor Boys. That was the Poor Boys before they dropped the Boys. And if I heard of Hoodoo Gurus, yeah, that's guys from Rock's Gang from the '80s, right? No, there's that. No, who was that? Hoodoo Gurus. I get them mixed up. Hoodoo Gurus. I forget. Let me know who that is. Oh no, Hoodoo Gurus. I don't have anything by them. And I do have that Poor Boy single from '93, '92, somewhere in there, when it was called The Poor Boys. I think there's a track, Money, that ended up they re-recorded for their first album, I think. Hoodoo Gurus. Kind of like I kind of remember them. Damn. I forget. Yeah, they were kick ass. They put a record out probably about 10 years ago called Round 1 and Round 2. Two albums, but you can get it on, I think they released it on one CD. Off the top of your head, recommend an obscure early 70s bluesy classic rock release, if you don't mind. By the way, check out Chicken Shack and Black Cat Bones. Obscure early blues from the 70s. Well, there was a band called Thunderhead from the 70s that had a blues vibe to it, but more of a rock thing, kind of rock and blues type thing, that were really good. They had one record out back then. Man, there was... I'm trying to think, man. There's a couple other... I mean, obviously, like UFO and some of the Deep Purple stuff, but if you want obscure, I would definitely check out Thunderhead. I think their album came out in like '75. That's a good question, man. There's a few bands, but some other stuff is like, in the early '70s, they'd have like 2 or 3 heavier bluesy rock things, and then the rest of the shit was like ballady, slow moving stuff. But Thunderhead, I would think, you might dig a lot, because their stuff was more straightforward, blues rock oriented stuff. And obviously, like from the 70s, I know you don't, if you're not a blues fan, but I would check out Muddy Waters, Hard Again, or King B from the late 70s. Johnny Winter produced all those records. They were like his comeback albums. They're fucking slamming. They're really good blues rock. Yeah, Kiefer, that actually came out here last Friday. I didn't pick it up though. I have the original release of it. I don't know. I liked it, but I don't need to buy the reissue of it for 2 versions of Nobody's Fool or whatever it is. Miss Free Love 69. I never heard of them either. Let me write that down. Miss Free Love. It's a cool name. Oh yeah, Killing Floor. I forgot about them. That fucking record kicked ass, man. That's such a good record. Oh, Miss Free Love was, I gotcha. The 2 hits from Hoodoo Gurus. I guess I can cross that out then. I'll definitely check out. I'll write down Hoodoo Gurus for sure. They sound familiar. They might have had some stuff out here. I don't know why they sound so familiar. I'm sure once you hear the What's My Scene, you'll know the song. Probably. Oh, the Rocket to Russia. Yeah, that thing kicks ass. Oh, Rocket to Russia. I didn't see that. The only ones I have are the first album and Leave Home. Is there a Rocket to Russia Deluxe now? Or coming out? Yeah, I know it's the next one, but have they announced it yet? Alright, Andrew, take it easy, man. I'll talk to you soon. Let me check out. Right on. I had no idea. Let me check this out. Rocket to Russia. I can't wait. I thought the first 2 that they did are amazing. November 24th. Nice. Thanks for giving me the heads up on that, man. That's fucking awesome. So previously unreleased material of Needles and Pins, alternate version of It's a Long Way Back to Germany with Dee Dee on vocals, original radio promo with Joey, and versions of Why Is It Always That Way and Ramona with alternate lyrics. Entire disc dedicated to previously unreleased concert the band gave at the Apollo in Glasgow on December 1977. Spread across 3 CDs, which I'm sure it's going to have the vinyl as well. Fuck yeah, man. That's going to be kick-ass. Thanks for the heads up on that one. Sweet. Great, more money to spend. I'll have to, I'm hoping it's going to be packaged like these 2. I still have these down here because I listen to them a lot. The live shit anyway. So I'm hoping it's going to be like these. You know, the box sets. I would imagine it should be. I don't know why it wouldn't, but I hope they keep it in that, you know, that vein. That was quick. That's a quick turnaround. Oh, you saw pictures of it. Fuck, man. I gotta find that. Let me see. I just saw the news on the RollingStones.net thing. Ah, there it is. Sweet. They even have, they have a track, Cretin Hop. Definitely a different version. Dude, I fucking love the Ramones. God damn. They're one of those bands like a movie. When you have a favorite movie and you're flipping through the TVs late at night and it happens to be on and you stop and watch the rest of it. Ramones are the same way. Like, anytime I hear them, I stop what I'm doing and just listen to them. Yeah, the picture's awesome. It's on their website, so I'll definitely I'll be getting that for sure. Yeah, the Ramones, you just got into them the last couple of years. I've been into them since, I would say, the early 80s. And I can tell you exactly how I kind of fell into them was they were on Tom Snyder late at night and I was sick. It might have been 80, somewhere around there. I was sick with the flu or something. And I woke up and I think like Carson was on, Johnny Carson. Or somebody, and it couldn't have been Carson, but Tom Snyder's Late Late Show was on, and they were on it, and I just remember seeing these guys in leather jackets and mop tops, kind of haircuts, and was watching it, listening to them talk, and was kind of enamored with them right from the get-go. And I don't think I heard anything by them as, music-wise for, it could have been months, but I just remembered the name Ramones, and at that time all I listened to was Kiss and AC/DC when I was that young, but mostly Kiss. But I remember seeing them then the name always stuck in my head, and then I saw something else with them on it, and actually heard, it was like Rock and Roll High School or something. It might have even been the movie. It was probably the movie when I was a kid. And like hearing the music in the movie, like, oh man, I really dig these guys. The Crosley Ramones turntable, I know exactly what you're talking about. We had one at the shop. That was a record store day thing. And I told the owner, Dave, he's like my second dad, really. If this doesn't sell, I'm buying it. And then somebody bought it. But again, now that they're all dead, all the original members are dead, it's more of a brand than a band anymore. They'll put the Ramones logo on anything now. Which is cool, I guess. It keeps the band. I never had problem with marketing, merchandising. Because it keeps the name of the band alive out there. Even with young kids, when you see, like my 12-year-old, he's going to be 12, but he has like 3 or 4 Ramones shirts. He's got some AC/DC shirts. And even when my oldest was in his age, he wore the same shit, like the Darkness shirts or AC/DC or Ramones or Kiss or Slayer or Misfits. And I always remember like having student teacher parent teacher conferences with his teachers going like, with the teachers going, man, I've never seen a kid wear as many concert shirts or band shirts as your son does, and it's cool because it's all bands I grew up with. It's kind of weird, and half of his friends were like, had no idea who Kiss or, fucking The Darkness were. It's probably still in an online shopping cart somewhere, probably. It's amazing, like, I'll order, speaking of online shopping carts, I'll order, like, I'll go on some website and put something in a cart and then not buy it, and then 4 months later I'll go back and get something from that website and it's still in the cart. It's funny. Whatever, I put in there. Amazon, all Amazon's like that too. I have stuff probably still sitting in my Amazon Italy shopping cart that I haven't bought yet. But yeah, I actually got to see the Ramones a couple times before they split. Do I remember the first LP I acquired? I do. Monkey's headquarters back in the mid-70s. Kiss Alive 2. My first LP I ever remember acquiring was Ace Frehley's solo album from 78. And then after that was... My second one was Let There Be Rock. My third one was Power Age. And then I think Double Platinum, and then I went back and bought the early ones. Or I didn't, my grandmother or mother did. The first compact disc I ever bought when they first came out was Back in Black from AC/DC. I'll never forget that. Because I went to my grandmother's house right after I got it. And my aunt had a CD player. I didn't have one yet. And I went and bought Back in Black at the mall on CD and went home and listened to it. And I was amazed how awesome it sounded because there was no pops or. But then as you get older, you realize vinyl sounds better anyway. But yeah, the first LP I ever acquired that I remember was Ace Frehley's solo album. And then Let There Be Rock and Power Age right after that. And I think Power Age was brand new. Like it had just come out. And the only reason I got that is because my older cousin, who's only like 2 years older than me, I went to their house because his brother, my other cousin's a couple months older than me. So me and him were like twins growing up. And I remember listening to that Ace Frehley solo record at his house. He lived right up the street from me, and I brought it up there. And my older cousin John was like, "Oh, dude, you gotta listen to this," and popped AC/DC on. That was the end of that. I've always been I'm a big AC/DC fan, even more so than Kiss. I dig early Kiss, but AC/DC is my favorite band. And the Kiss thing really, when I got older, like when I was a kid, it was about the image. The music was just there. But when I got older, I come to realize that, nobody can touch that early Kiss stuff, especially the first 3 records. They were just amazing records. However, Hotter Than Hell sounded like shit, but there's just the riffs alone on those records were amazing. Priest Painkiller was your first CD. That's a great first CD. And your first Kiss was the first cassette was Kiss the Elder. Yikes. I guess that wasn't a good one to start off with. Although, I do like The Oath on there. I think The Oath's a great song. I like that song. I know not a lot of people like that album, but I liked half of it. I did like The Elder, about half of it. I don't like that slow shit, like Just a Boy. You can have that stuff, but The Oath, The Oath could be one of the best Kiss songs ever. Really, the way just the riff. And I was the first time in years that Paul and Gene sang together on the song. I just think that was a great song. It's an uplifting song, really, lyric wise. But they took a chance doing something different, and I get it. They were kind of stuck in a rut. They tried to do something different, didn't work, and they went heavier with the next album, Creatures of the Night, which I think's a fantastic record too. Yeah, Hair of the Dog, I remember them. They did a cover of they did on, I think, their second album, maybe. Yeah, The Oath was such a good song. I mean, from what I remember, and I could be way off, but I was a pretty big Kiss fan when that record came out, but I'm thinking A World Without Heroes was like the first single off of that record. And that was a dumb one to start with. Like, if you wanted to push that record, they should have released The Oath as a first single, or to get people sucked into that, the heaviness of it. But from what I remember seeing like World Without Heroes everywhere, and I couldn't take it. I was like, what is this shit? It was just a bad song. And even as an adult and an aging adult, I still don't like that song. Yeah, I had a couple of them. I had the Ace Frehley doll in the 70s, and I think I had the Gene Simmons one too, but I didn't have the other two. They were hard to find back then. I wish I still had them, but I don't. There was a time about 10 years ago that I was on the hunt for like mint condition in the box, but I gave up that. I wasn't going to pay those prices. I'd still love to have the Ace Frehley one, but yeah, mint and box, what do they go for, like $700 each now or something stupid like that? It's just not going to happen. $700 can buy a lot of albums. But so I figured I had some time to chill out tonight. I am going to take off right now, though. I've been on for a little over an hour. But I'll be back soon to do another live thing. This was just kind of a quick hop on since I hadn't done one in a while. But I always like talking to you guys a lot. Especially Andrew and Halloween Fan and Thunderstruck. Thanks for popping in, leaving some, asking questions, leaving comments. Ches, you got it, man. Great chatting with you too, man. Halloween on Thunder. I appreciate you guys popping in. I really do. It was fun. But I'll be back soon. I'll have a review of The Babysitter up tomorrow, the movie, which I think was good. Cheers, Warren. Thank you, man. Thanks for popping in. And I'll have a review of the new Professional CD and the new Power Man 5000 record. I heard a couple tracks from that. I thought it was great. But I'll talk to you all soon. Again, thanks for popping in and saying hi. Thanks for asking questions. And we'll do this again real soon. Peace, everybody. Thanks again.